If I could say one thing about this class, it's that it has reshaped my entire worldview and preconceived notions about what human trafficking actually is. Before I took this class, I thought human trafficking was a foreign issue, affecting victims in China and India. I thought it was children in sweatshops and girls being sold to men, never something that could happen in the country I grew up in. I also brought with me what I thought were feminist beliefs, that women should have the autonomy to make their own decisions and that sex work was empowering. However, I was wrong. In 2017, the National Human Trafficking Hotline and Be Free text line identified 10,615 victims of human trafficking in the United States. In this video, I mainly want to focus on sex trafficking. In class, we learned that while things like pornography and prostitution may be a choice for some women, others experience push factors like childhood sexual abuse, poverty, substance abuse, and others that lead them into the arms of an exploitative pimp. Once they are prostituted, these victims experience forms of coercion that prevent them from seeking freedom. This was another misconception I had about sex trafficking. Why don't the girls just run away? Well, it's because they can't. Trafficking victims experience psychological coercion. They are separated from their families. They face threats of harm, but to both them and their families if they run away. They are raped and beaten, they are transported from city to city, and they are denied basic human needs like food and shelter. I was able to go on a ride-along with a Fort Worth police officer and actually come face to face with trafficking in the city I grew up in. I saw a woman on the street with her pimp in the car watching every move she made. He kept her high on drugs, and I couldn't help but notice the way she looked back at him for approval after every word she spoke. It was heartbreaking to know that if the police drove by, it was likely that she would be arrested, and the Johns would be free to go home to their wife and children. In class, we also heard from survivors, several of which were raised in really good homes and were on their way to college, just like me. I couldn't help but think, that really could have been me. So, what can I do to help? I can educate others about the stereotypes and misconceptions about human trafficking, such as the idea that labor victims know what they're getting themselves into, or that porn and prostitution are autonomous choices. I can encourage and exemplify empathy in my daily interactions with others. And as I'm headed to law school next fall, I can spend the rest of my life fighting for the rights of the exploited as a lawyer. Thank you, Dr. Boucher.